Thank you for watching Hack the File. Michael Lopez. And on today's episode, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about what I've been trying to work on and create for my viewers. Enjoy. All right, we're back. So, I have been working on my own um, hacking attack style or hacking method style for um, hacking, right? And so I have. I don't know if you guys know about the MITRE attack framework. Um, so it's similar. It's something like that, right? But so the MITRE attack framework basically is a record of on how hackers attack you, right? And the problem with the MITRE attack frame is it basically assumes, or the way I read it is, it assumes that you're hacking, that hackers are going to follow those steps. I would say steps, right? And they're gonna start with reconnaissance. They're gonna do this. They're gonna do that. And so, to me, what that reminds me of is like traditional martial arts, right? So, um, traditional martial arts, if you look at it, okay, they're gonna teach you from basic to end, right? Which is fine. You're gonna start as a white belt. You're gonna go up to black belt, and you're gonna learn how to your first are gonna be your basic stance, your basic punch, your basic block, right? And your basic kick or something. So you're gonna learn those stuff. Okay. The problem is, as you progress up through the ranks, okay, and you become a black belt, at least for the black belt level. Once you get second degree black belt, third degree black belt, then you're gonna get more wiser. You're supposed to, and you're gonna understand that you're supposed to use all of that at any time, right? So, the philosophy is not, at least for your black belt, when you're learning for starting, you're gonna assume that somebody throws a punch, you're gonna block, like you're gonna do a standard block or something, right? And you're gonna do a standard kick or something, and then as the attack gets, worse or something, they're throwing a roundhouse, you're gonna use something more intermediate. They're doing like a flying jump kick or something, you're gonna do something more advanced to attack or strike or block, whatever, right? But in reality, in reality, that's not true. Okay. I guess the more you practice, the more you learn, you're gonna realize that none of that is in sequential order. You might do something advanced with something basic. You might do something basic with something advanced, right? And so what I'm working on is something that it's basically martial arts orientated, right? Because when you're hacking, what are you doing? You're attacking, right? You're attacking, you're defending, and basically, and you're doing all this, basic attacks, basics, and then you're gonna move up to intermediate and then advance, right? And so, how I see it is that your basic, let's say, the stuff you need to learn to be a hacker or whatever, you're gonna do your basics, and mind you, this is only the attack and um, the shadowing effect, right, where you're trying to stay in the shadows, where you're trying to, and not get caught or something like that, right? Whatever. And this is for pen testers or anything. And so the thing is that it's not this, what I'm creating is not for beginners. It's assuming that you already know Linux, you already know how to do Linux, you already know how to do all this stuff, you already know all the basics. So this is more for the advanced I would say, for not even advanced. This is more for people that know the basics, and then they want to have some kind of structure to their attacks, right? And they don't want to follow the minor attack frame or whatever, because that's what the mainstream is, right? But we all know that doesn't always work out, right? But and then also what sets it apart, what I'm doing, what I'm trying to create is that I'm going to give you some commands, right? So I'm collecting and researching and collecting all the commands and actually doing them, right? So you're going to be able to do them on a virtual machine. This is going to be my next series. It's going to be my own material, right? And so I'm going to show you basically I'm going to show you the concept, and then I'm going to show you basically, and I'm not even done working on the first set of attacks or the first set of strategy for attack, right? And like I said, it's going to go in I call them attack sequences, okay? So you're going to have different sequences of attacks. But if you're in a situation where you don't have to do the beginning stuff, you're gonna go to more advanced sequence. But let's say you start off your attack or your pen test or whatever. This is ethical hacking, okay? And let's say you're doing something that you can start with the intermediate attack and then be successful. You can go from there, and then you can jump to another sequence, beginner, or you can jump to another tactic sequence that's intermediate, or you can jump to another tactic sequence that's advanced, right? So you don't have to, once you go through all the material, you don't have to start from the start. If you'll have the concept and the abilities that you're going to do to start in any sequential order, right? Does that make sense? So it's basically I think it's cool, and I started working on it like a year ago. I've got most of the my sequence lined up for the basic, right? And here's the thing: there's no books out there for what I'm creating. There's no books that have the actual idea or the attack, and then it tells you what tools to use and gives you commands and command lines to practice or to use, right? And then some strategies. So I haven't found. I mean, I found some, but not. I don't think the way that I'm laying it out, there's any books. You have to go through the book and find some, do your own research and all that. But I'm doing it all for you, and putting this. Now, this is just a rough draft of what I've created, but I'm going to show you it. Okay. So, and this is for all the viewers that were like, I get us some kind of guideline. We want a guideline for stuff to practice on our own VMs and stuff. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is not for hacking, right? You're going to use this for ethical hacking. You're going to set your own VM up. You're going to do this in your own setting, right? Safe setting, nothing illegal, all right? So, and this is just a taste, and this is all just open source material. It's nothing legal, nothing. This is all stuff that's out there, that's in books and stuff like that. So I'm just putting it together all in one, right? So I'm gathering all these books I've been reading, I'm gathering all the information from 10, 15 different books. I've been gathering it and putting it all in my own theory of the attack strategy. Okay, so here we go. So we're going to so I call it the Shadow Initiative Sequence Protocol. Okay, this is what I call it. So I call it the Shadow Initiation Sequence Protocol, SISP. Okay, it's because you're gonna have to be like Shadow. You're gonna have to. I'm gonna show you techniques, and this is all just basic for now. Basic techniques on how to keep yourself from being, when you're running a scan, from doing a light scan or something like that. Trying to bypass firewalls and stuff like that, not be detected is the shadow part. Initiation is the initiation. You gotta initiate what you're doing. Sequence is for the different sequences. Okay, and there's gonna be I don't know yet. There's gonna be about 8, 9 sequences, right? That entail all kinds of commands and stuff. And then your protocol is just cyber, right? And then so it's gonna be called SISP. So let's go in here. And the first, the shadow sequence protocol is the first protocol or the sequence that you're gonna learn. It's all the basic stuff, right? So we'll open this up and we'll look at it, right? So this is what I created. So it's called the Shadow Initiation Sequence Protocol, SISP, a modular cyber attack framework, SISP, right? And I had a ChatGPT give me a character like that. So this is the character. It's pretty cool. Here's your index. So like if I was reading from somebody else's book, this is mine. This is what I've created, right? So we're gonna go into here, and I've got the intro, and this is just the first set. So there's differences from MITRE ATT&CK framework and SISP. Okay, so and I don't have anything about me, who I am yet, and all that, because this is just me. This is the rough draft, right? And I'm working on this, and what I'm gonna do is we're gonna go through this, and if you guys like it, I'm gonna go through and we're gonna run all these. We're gonna make we're gonna create a fake victim. I'm going to create a fake website and all that, and we're going to attack them, right? Or whatever company. Okay, so the Shadow Initiative Sequence Protocol is a modular cyber attack framework designed to operate in sequence that can seamlessly connect at any point during an attack. See, that's the point, right? Inspired by the martial arts belt system, SISP mirrors the progression from white belt to black belt, where practitioners first master fundamental skills like stances, basic punches, and kicks and blocks before advancing to the more complex techniques. The initial sequence in the SISP framework begins with the stance reconnaissance. Okay, so I am relating your basic stance in martial arts, where you need to know your foundation, your stance, right? I'm relating that to reconnaissance, right? So, because if you get a target, you're gonna do some reconnaissance first, right? So your attack, gather critical foundational knowledge. Okay, right? And then your block on that. So I'm incorporating blocks in with all this stuff too, right? Because it's the shadow part, it's the evasion part, right? So you're going to avoid detection using stealth scanning and automation techniques. So this is going to be part of the reconnaissance of the first sequence, right? Then your basic punch is going to be like fishing. Your basic punch is your basic attack is going to be like fishing, right? So your attack is, you're going to exploit human error to gain initial access, right? You're going to make phishing campaigns. You're going to learn how to do phishing or stuff like that, right? So your block would be evade defenses by obfuscating payloads and spoofing identities. This has to do with, so they can't detect your phishing stuff, right? And this is ethical hacking. All this stuff is not, I would say, super hacker, underground, what do you call it? Just what am I thinking? Darknet stuff. I mean, but it can be applied to it, right? They're using the same techniques, right? But this is more ethical hacking, pen testing, but it's still cool. Okay, so now your basic kick would be your vulnerability scanning. Okay, attack, test for weaknesses in a system and service, right? Your block on that would be your bypass detection using slow scans and covert communication channels. So as the protocols progress, additional phases align with higher belt levels, introduce more advanced tools, techniques, and strategies. Okay, the modular design ensures the sequence from any level can be dynamically linked, allowing attackers to adapt and pivot during an operation. This foundational document explores the tools, techniques, and scenarios that form the backbone of the SISP framework, which is the Shadow Initiation Sequence Protocol framework. This is what I've created, laying the groundwork for mastery across all phases of the attack lifestyle. Okay, so differences from the MITRE ATT&CK framework and SISP, because people are going to say, well, there's a MITRE ATT&CK framework. What's the difference? So there's a big difference. Okay, so mine is this, the SIS is based on martial arts progression system. SISP emphasizes learning and modularity. It's designed to teach and stimulate cyber attack techniques in a structured, skill based manner, progressing from foundational white belt to advanced black belt phases. Each phase includes offensive moves, attacks, and defensive evasion techniques, blocks, which can be combined dynamically to create an adaptable scenario. So, what we're going to do is, when I'm done with creating this is just a taste of what I'm doing, okay? And I'm gonna run through this like one of my books and one of my series is I'm going to create attack scenarios with VMs and stuff, and we're gonna run them using the tools and the commands, right? And I'm gonna build a fake, website and stuff like that, or use something that's already available. So the MITRE ATT&CK, right, focuses on documenting and categorizing real-world adversary behaviors. So it's more of a behavioral framework. Okay, it's trying to guess on what they're well not trying to guess, but it's documented of their behaviors, of hackers' behaviors in the past and whatnot, right? In a taxonomy of tactics, techniques, and procedures, right? It provides a comprehensive map of attack strategies, reconnaissance, initial access, privilege escalation, etc., designed to help defenders understand how adversaries operate and identify gaps in their defenses. Now, it will reference, I've looked at it, it will reference, tools they use and tactics and stuff, but it doesn't go through it like I am doing, okay, or want to do. So your shadow foundation sequence is my first sequence. This is what I call it. It's called the shadow foundation sequence. So we're going to start with reconnaissance techniques, okay? And this is just the breakdown of the first sequence. And then I'm going to go through what I have, right? So your stance is your reconnaissance, offensive, collect information about the target using OSINT and network scans. Okay, basic block, avoid detection during reconnaissance. Use stealth scanning techniques, Nmap, dash S, big S, or T2 options. Randomize scan timing to avoid triggering intrusion detection systems, right? Use automation tools, right? To mask sources of scans. Purpose to ensure reconnaissance phases succeed without alerting the target. Okay, so and then here's a bunch of tools, Google Dorking and stuff like that, and it's just going through like examples of what, right? But we'll go through. Close that. So we'll go through. We're gonna go through the first sequence, right? And this one, that's not it. Oh. Got it right here somewhere. Program layout. So here's the first sequence, and this is the shadow foundation sequence. Actually, it's not that. The other one's wrong. The first sequence is called the shadow foundation sequence. And here's this cool little logo in your shadow foundation sequence. So this is going to be your first set of sequences that I'd say you should learn, right? So here's the table of contents. This breaks. The other one was an overview. This breaks down the first sequence in commands and stuff, right? So it's huge, right? It's got a lot of different stuff. So here we go. We're gonna go through a little bit of it. So reconnaissance is your stance, right? Your attack, you're gonna gather critical foundational knowledge, right? So the purpose to collect essential data about the target, such as system details, network architecture, and vulnerabilities, without directly engaging the target. Our target, and then this is a fake target that I came up with. It's called quantum dynamics. Now, what I'm working on is I am working on cyber physical systems right now. So this is basically emulating cyber industrial security, right? Or ICS, industrial control systems, right? So basically, like a potato factory that's got like PLCs, VFDs and stuff like that. Okay. Quantum Dynamics is a global leader in renewable energy solutions, specializing in Internet of Things, enabled energy grid, AI powered energy optimization tools, could be like mechanical arms and stuff like that, and warehouse automation for energy storage systems. The company manages sensitive data, including proprietary algorithms, client energy usage patterns, and government contracts for clean energy initiatives. Okay, here's an attack scenario. We want to exploit IoT vulnerabilities in smart meters. Okay, identify misconfigured IoT devices to gain access to the energy grid. Use tools like Shodan to map exposed devices. Okay, or something. So this is gonna do an attack scenario overview. We want to target SCADA systems managing power distribution. Breach the SCADA network to manipulate power loads, disrupt uh, distribution. Use phishing attacks to gain credentials for SCADA systems. Right. This is all going to incorporate your basic stance, punch, kick, all that stuff, right? Deliver ransomware to warehouse automation systems. Identify vulnerabilities in warehouse IoT systems, managing battery storages. Use phishing emails to deliver ransomware disguised as firmware updates. Lock access to critical warehouse automation, halting distribution. Phishing campaign against employees. Send emails posing as clean energy innovation awards or something, whatever, to trick employees into shared credentials. Now, this is all based off of our attack scenario, right? It's off of this company. We are going to assume, because you got to start somewhere, you have to have some kind of a target. So this is our made up target, okay? And what I plan to do is setting up a environment simulating this, okay? And then we're going to attack it. And then I'm not going into defense of it. That could be another book or something, right? And I have to do more research and all that. But that's what I'm going to be working on soon, hopefully, right? But right now we're working on the attack on it. Okay, so tools and techniques for the attack. Passive reconnaissance OSINT. So tools and techniques. Okay. I'm going to use some Google dorking. You're going to search for sensitive information using advanced Google queries. Example, this is just an example. Site, example.com, file type.pds confidential. So this would be looking for any PDFs or anything that the company might have on Google or I might have on the web, right? They messed up. And if anybody can see it. Now, this is all free information. This is all legal to see, right? It's on Google. But these are advanced Google techniques, you know. And so I'm not going to go over what these are. This attack strategy is assuming that you know all this stuff already. All I'm doing is providing people with a mind framework on how to see all this and how to put them in sequential order and how to put them in a modular mind frame. And you're gonna understand this, and you're gonna say, okay, this is all in the sequence one. I've done all this, great. We'll move on to the next sequence, and then you have it all mastered, or you have it down, and then you could just go back to whatever sequence you want to, and you might not have all these memorized, but you will have an idea of what you need to do, right? And then, of course, Shodan, you're gonna identify internet-facing devices and services. If you don't know what all this stuff is, then this is going to be hard for you. But you can still follow it, right? And you can still do some research on your own. And that's you're always going to do that, right? So network scanning, non-intrusive. So we're going to do some DNS reconnaissance. Use tools like DNS enum to identify subdomains and records. Discovering mail.com, email phishing, right? So you're going to do all this first, right? You can. You don't have to. You can go to another sequence. You're going to do some ping sweeps, determine active hosts using aggressive scans, geological tools like Proxy Nova. And so these are just set you up the guideline to give you an example. And then now I'm going to go into the Google dorking commands, right? And so general reconnaissance. So we have our target. It's quantumdynamics.com. So you're going to go site, colon, whatever the hell that is, quantumdynamics.com space file type PDF, and this is going to see if you can pull up. Now it's not going to pull anything up because quantum dynamics doesn't exist, right? But you adapt this to whatever your target is. If you're pen testing and they're like, hey, look, here's our website. You're gonna run this site, quantum dynamics. You're gonna want to run this site, your whatever you're pen testing or ethical hacking for a company. You're gonna put that in there .com file type PDF, and it so it gives you the command. I give you the command, right? And they work and everything. So and then it's gonna say, this tells you what it does. It searches for publicly accessible PDF files on the target domain, right? Okay, we're going to give you another one. Identify exposed directories. It's going to give you another stuff that you're going to tailor for whatever you're working on. But I'm going to eventually set up quantum dynamics or something along that line, and I'm gonna try and put the basic web structures in there. I'm going to have stuff you can hack. I'm going to have maybe a database, data historian. I don't know, right? It's going to be VMs. But I am going to hack it and show you how I do it and stuff. I don't know. You guys aren't going to do it. So, I'm not at that level yet. So, but hopefully I can create this for the university or something and actually have students hack into stuff using these commands. I mean, I would think that would be great. So this locates open directories that might contain sensitive files. Okay, and this is all the reconnaissance part, right? Using Google Dork commands. Find configuration file, and this is not all of them. This is just to get you started. And you should do. I can add more and all that, but this is, like I said, it's a rough draft. This is everything I can think of. Okay. Finding configuration files. You're gonna do this command. You're gonna search for configuration files that may reveal server details or credentials. And we'll go to the next one. Targeting IoT devices and SCADA systems. This one's great for industrial cybersecurity. Locate IoT devices interface. So this one, this is all just Google dorky. So you're gonna do that. You're gonna in URL IoT, and this might not all hit, but you're getting an idea of what you can run, right? This is what I like about this. So I don't see any other book that's doing it like the way I'm doing it. So, and I read a lot of books and stuff, as you know. So SCADA specific searches, find exposed IP cameras or sensors, okay, employee and credential harvesting. So this one, you're going to identify employee email list with, this is still Google dorking. So you want to see if they have any email. And then you can do other stuff like LinkedIn, and I have that on here too, right? You're going to look at people that work at your target. Maybe they put their emails on there all the time. I mean, companies all the time have LinkedIn pages with all their employees on there, and then all you have to find out is what their email structure is, right? And it's usually their first last name plus the company, and then .com or .edu or .something, right? And you can easily look that up too. LinkedIn employee reconnaissance. That's what I just said. Site linkedin.com. Put in the address. And I'm going to give you their website, their LinkedIn stuff, and you're going to get all kinds of information off this. So that's this basic reconnaissance. That's your Google dorking, right? Sensitive data. So now we'll go to Shodan. So your Shodan search queries, right? And then so search for devices associated with quantum dynamics. Host name, quantumdynamics.com. List all devices indexed by Shodan that are linked to the target domain. So you're going to get on Shodan. You don't know what Shodan is. It's a tool. And you need to do some research if you don't to follow this. Okay, I'm not giving you all that information here. I'm simply giving you the attack structure, right? And you will eventually understand by using this stuff. And it takes a lot of time. You're gonna go in. You're gonna research Shodan. You're gonna see what it does. Like I said, for all this stuff, this is all dangerous stuff. You don't need to be experimenting with on. You can check out the website because it's free and it's legal, but I would not go in and start running scans and trying to find stuff on things that you don't have permission on, right? Because you can get in trouble. I mean, the FBI will be knocking on your door. You're going to get in trouble, maybe, if you do too deep reconnaissance on this. This is for pen testers or ethical hackers and the safety of your own environment. You create your own virtual environment, and you try to run this on maybe, there's a lot of sites that actually let you target them for practice. That's what I would recommend doing too. So you can find, if you Google, I think I might put that in here. There's a lot of sites that allow you to hack them and test their security. And if you find something, which that you could with this, you can report it and get some money. I mean, I think this would be great for bounty hunting, right? And if you guys don't know what that is, there's websites that companies post on there. You just sign up and everything, but you're gonna have to learn how to navigate their website. It's very difficult. I mean, I spent like 20 minutes on it, and I was like, shoot, I don't really want to bounty hunt. But this would probably be good for bounty hunting, because there's websites that are free. I guess you can sign up and you can bounty hunt all these websites, and they give you vulnerabilities that they want you to check. They give you IP addresses to scan. They give you um, um, domains to scan. They give you all kinds of stuff that's legal. They want you to hack them, ethically hack them. And this would be great, because you'd use these techniques and whatever stuff you can research or find on your own. But I've got a lot of stuff here to try on that, to see if you can hack them, right? And then I think they pay $500, $200. I saw somebody got $1,000 for doing like something basic. I think he did some cross-site scripting on their website that they provided, and all he did was do an injection, SQL injection, basic, just an SQL. And I'm going to add that later on. This is all basic. This is the biggest time, so it wasn't really basic, but it was a basic SQL attack injection that he used, and he got $1,000 for that. And then it shows on there if they pay him or not. So if they don't pay you, and then what the hackers do, the bounty hunters do, is they go on there and they say, hey, I reported it, and these guys paid me in a week. They're great. Everybody try to hack them, And then some of them is like, I did this. These guys didn't pay me for 3 months. It's not worth it. And they only paid me half of what they said they were for this and that and that and this. So there's a lot of that going on. But this would be good, I think, for bounty hunting too, right? And that's legal. So there's a lot of options you could do, and this would come in handy. So here's some basic showdown commands. Discover open ports, target devices, and net, and it gives you the command here. You can copy and paste, place IP range with the known IP range of your continents, and they give you IP ranges when they want bounty hunting. They want you to scan and attack, and they also don't want they'll. So the thing is, they have firewalls and stuff, right? So you're just gonna run a basic scan, and then that's the whole point, right? They want to see if people can get past their stuff. So if you run covert scans, stuff like that, you might get in if you know what you're doing, right? Find vulnerable services, right? And then targeting IoT devices. So this is the structure I have, right? SCADA industrial system. And this is for the set target, though, right? You can change all that, right? So ransomware, vulnerability hunting. This is all Shodan, different things, okay? And you come here to Maltego. Now, Maltego is a tool that maps out domains and networks. I think. Let me see. Yeah. And so you begin with the target. You set your target, and you begin with your target name. And this actually runs through if you need to configure a tool too. So begin with the target's domain name. Then you whatever.com, right? Use this as your starting point to gather intelligence through Maltego. So Maltego, I've used it before in a couple of my videos, and what it does is, like, if you guys don't, remember, if you haven't seen that video, if you have the domain name, it goes in and sees if it can map out everything, the whole network, and you use different commands and stuff, and like this one, it maps out subdomains and stuff. So this would be if you're trying to mail.com. Here's some examples. If you're trying to figure out how their network is laid out, and if they have any subdomains hosting vulnerable services, or or login portals and stuff like that. So this gives you tactics you use in commands, and I clearly broke this down, right? resolve the domain and subdomains to their corresponding IPs for further analysis and stuff like that. So this is all from books. I'm pulling this from books and different things, right? I don't know all this stuff by heart. This is all research. Most of this, I would say 50% of it is from research, and it's research articles, research books, research online, and stuff like that. So this is all gathered and put together for you guys. Right, and you have your email employee reconnaissance, right? So harvest employee email addresses, transform to email addresses, and this is still Maltego. So I am not a Maltego pro. I simply have used it a little bit, but like I said, this is for people that understand how to use tools and stuff. You can go in, you can use help, you can. It's giving you ideas. Okay, this is the ideas are powerful, right? That's what martial arts is. It's the idea for preparation. So you're gonna have an idea of what needs to be done and what you can do, and all the things you can do. So you have some kind of a strategy, and you can plan. So you can take this and you can say, I'm going to try this, I'm going to try this. You can write this on a whiteboard. If you're planning with a team of hackers or a team of ethical hackers, a team of pen testers and stuff, you can map out what you're going to try, what worked, what didn't work. I mean, you're not going to get nothing on half of this stuff, right? And this is still just the reconnaissance phase. These are just different tools. Right? But you might come up with something and go, boom, got a lot of stuff, and you're going to take all that information and you're going to create your own network with it. You're going to create a strategy with it, right? And you're going to say, okay, this is because the more information you gather on a target, the more efficient you're going to be, right? So infrastructure mapping, and then this is going to be something else you can do in Maltego. Okay. Or network scanning, DNS, network scanning, DNS recon, basic enumeration. So this is a tool, DNS enum, right? Performs a basic DNS enumeration, including host name, resolution, retrieval of name servers, and mail exchange, right? Records. Output results to a file. So you're going to run that, and you're going to run this command and output it to a file. So you can save the output as an XML file for further analysis or integration into other tools. So, this is powerful right here. You're going to take what you've saved, if you have anything, and it's going to put it into XML, and you can use that to integrate with other tools, right? And so what the beauty of this system is, and what I know the beauty of it is that it's not overwhelming you with no future. So you're looking at this and you're going, somebody will say, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Here, run this. But you don't know why. You don't know why you're doing that. If you know why you're doing that, then you can put it in place in sequence where it needs to be and go, this is why I'm doing this. So I'm running this command because it attempts to enumerate subdomains using a built-in word list. So then you're going to go, what is a built-in word list? You're going to go research that, maybe put it together. Subdomain enumeration, brute force subdomains. Use your brute force command, actual command, enables brute forcing mode to find hidden subdomains. Now this is all detectable, right? But like I said, you're gonna go through here, and you're gonna go through. And this is just network scanning. This is giving you a bunch of different network scanning options. Basic ping sweep with native tools. Simple ping sweep with ping in Linux or Unix. And you're going to run this command and run a ping, right? And then, you're going to adapt it to whatever your, IP range is, right? So, and this explains how it works, right? You got to figure that out. So ping sweep with PowerShell. This is giving you PowerShell ping sweep because PowerShell is powerful, right? Using Nmap for ping sweeps. And here's a basic Nmap ping sweep. Here's your command. Scans the IP address and it tells you subdomain, whatever. Stealthier ping sweep. This is a little bit stealthier here, right? These are options that you can dash help and it tells you what they do. Okay, using ICMP echo and ICMP timestamp request, and this ICMP is what Nmap uses, right? It's the ping. It's the ping. So ping sweep with output. Now you're gonna ping sweep that, and you're gonna output it to a file called quantumsweep.txt right here for future analysis, and then you can look at it later. Now this is powerful. A lot of people don't know how to run something and then shoot it to another file to look at later, right? But there you go. That's how you do it. You could we're gonna test all this, and we're gonna have it run. I think this would be funner to run through in a series, right? Run all this stuff, see what happens. Anyways, advanced ping sweeps with high HPing 3. So this is all ping sweeps. Now we're going to go geolocation tools. Okay, using IP location websites. Manually enter the IP target at IP location website. And your steps, I run through steps. Navigate the IP location tool, enter IP address, target, review details such as city, country, ISP. Automate with curl, right? This is something they HackTheFile teach. I mean, HackTheFile did. Hack the box. Yeah, Hack the Box teaches you how to use curl. That's a paid service, man. This is gonna be just on my video, and we're gonna run all this stuff right. Well, eventually I'm gonna sell this. Okay, so I'm gonna get this locked down, and I'm gonna sell this to people, and so they can have it for themselves. And it is huge list. Here goes Proxy Nova geolocation. Visit Proxy Nova to identify IP ranges. Select the desired country. Browse the list of IP ranges. Locate potential targets for quantum dynamics. You're going to find out where they're at. You can get all that from Google searching and Google dorking and LinkedIn and all that, and stuff. But in a pen test or ethical hacking or bounty hunting, they're going to tell you where they're, what they want you to attack, right? So you might not use this. This is for, I would say this is really cool stuff, though. I'll show you how to combine Proxy Nova with other things, right? Stealth considerations using proxies. This is basically where you route queries through proxies to avoid detection. This is just a common sense thing that a lot of pen testers and ethical hackers do, right? But this gives you a guideline, like, yeah, you're gonna want to do it, and then I go deeper into this and I tell you what tools to use, right? So this is just the attack phase, or reconnaissance, right? Attack. So now we're going to the block phase. So this is the attack and this is the block, avoid detection using stealth scanning. So this shows you how to avoid, to be stealthier, the shadow part. So the purpose of the block phase is to prevent the target from detecting reconnaissance activities, ensuring the operation remains covert, right? This gives you a way to think about it. So this is what I like. I've created this and I love it. This is how I see it, because I've done martial arts for about 15 years. I've taken a break for the last 10 because I had cancer and stuff, and my body couldn't take it, so I had to stop going. And I had thyroid cancer, and if you guys watched my old videos, I'm going through half of the videos. Yeah, I had thyroid cancer, and so thank you guys for all making fun of me. I hope you feel bad now. No, I'm just kidding. I was like, what in the hell is the matter with me? But then, I went to the doctor, and they took my thyroid out because it had full-blown cancer in it, and I thought I was gonna die. But anyways, so I took a break from martial arts because of that, and I'm barely recovering. So I'm trying to get back into martial arts. It's been years, but I'm barely recovering. And I did taekwondo, catch wrestling, did a little bit of jiu-jitsu and stuff, but I like catch wrestling better because it's more violent, and it does the same thing as jiu-jitsu. Look that up too, catch wrestling. Catch as catch can wrestling. It's awesome. Anyways, so this stuff, I run through a basic description again, give you an example. So you're going to use Google Dorking to identify sensitive files. You're going to query Shodan for open ports and exposed devices, right? And you're going to use Maltego to map email addresses and domains. This is an example of your attack. Attack reconnaissance is you're going to conduct DNS enumerations. You're going to use slow nmap scans with spoofed IPs, which we were talking about, the obfuscation or whatever, to identify live hosts, right, and proxies and stuff. You're going to avoid detection with the block. You're going to route scans through VPNs or Tor, right? And this goes into that, what that is. I don't really go into Tor because that's something that you gotta go, that I don't want to mess with, and I don't want people to mess with until you get real deep and you know what you're doing. Then you can get into that. But I'm not gonna show you any of that. That'd be irresponsible of me, I would say. Anyways, but VPNs. Hey, you can use your Ghost VPN or any VPN you have right now, and you can use that. I mean, it's not illegal to do that. So, use randomized scan timing proxy chains. Collect data from third-party tools to limit direct interaction with the target. So this is all stuff that pen testers use, ethical hackers use. Right? It's just giving you some ideas. So in the block sequence, we're going to do some stealthy nmap scans again, but this one goes into slow and steady scans. This one goes deeper into like what commands do and explains them. So adjust timing to polite mode, reduces scan speed to avoid trigger alarms. And this is all in the help of Nmap. You look up help in Nmap, and it's going to tell you what that T2 it does. It's going to tell you what this command does. This is an option, right, in this command. It's these two. So it's saying Nmap, run these two options, and then your target domain, right? And it tells you what these do. And it's going to tell you in Nmap if you do help. But this one actually tells you what it does in the terms of the attack or the block of the defense, right? Perform a stealthy SYN scan. And this is just, now you might not use these really, but these are here for you. I mean, randomized port scans. So you're going to randomize it. I've done this. We've done this in my books. Oh, this is where I actually got it from, was the ethical hacking book. You're gonna randomize port scans, right? And it's gonna make it a little bit more stealthier for you. Randomizes the order of IPs and port scans to simulate legitimate traffic, right? It's meant to be stealthy. It's your block. That's what you're doing. Fragmented packets to evade firewalls. This was all in the ethical hacking book that I pulled. Sends fragmented packets, bypass basic intrusion detection systems. Okay, now this ain't gonna work for a lot of stuff because, but it might, right? A lot of people have a lot of firewall, powerful IDS systems and stuff that will detect all this, but it ain't gonna hurt to try it. I mean, they might. That's the whole point when you're pen testing. They're gonna say, no, we have it set up to where it detects all that stuff. Well, does it? Obviously it doesn't. And there you go. You do it, you run that command, you write, you get through and you write your report, and then you let them know, hey, this didn't work. I was able to run this basic scan, and I gave me a vulnerable ports and all that stuff. So you guys didn't detect me or anything, because what it does is it detects you and then it blocks you, right? Firewall or whatever. So using proxies and automation, scan through a proxy, right? So you don't want to scan through a proxy. This tells you how to scan through a proxy using Nmap, right? Proxyexample.com. And if you want to know more about this command, you need to research it, and there you go. And then you have the basic command here that you can compare to the research you do. So this is powerful right here. I think this is great. You're going to have to comb through a lot of different books to find this. You're going to have to do a lot of research to find all this stuff, but it's all right. I've done it all for you. Route scan traffic through a proxy server for an autonomy. Okay. Route through your Tor. Now this is the Tor, but you've got to look up Tor. Required Tor installed and running locally. Now, I would not do that unless you look up what Tor is and what it does and what the impacts could be and all that stuff. Now, if you want to get real crazy, yeah, you're gonna have to look up Tor and all that stuff, but you gotta be careful about this. Okay. So limiting detection and specific scan types. So this is gonna run through that. Now we're gonna do phishing, basic phishing punch. So now we've done the block of your reconnaissance of your basic stance. Now we're gonna go to your basic punch. Now this is phishing. So now you're gonna attack, exploit human errors, gain initial action. The purpose of this is to trick users into revealing sensitive information, credentials, or executing malicious action, clicking a link, downloading malware. So you're gonna go through this, and I show you what tools. I mean, you might use GoFish, right? And these are all open source tools you can get on Kali Linux. They're probably on there. I don't know. I haven't checked. But GoFish, I think, is on Kali Linux. And you can build fake email stuff. You can do it from scratch, okay? But why do it from scratch when you can use a tool? But for advanced people that know about CNTP protocol, you can we've done this on one of the videos where you can create using command line, create an email, right? And then you can really do it real good like that detail, and then the firewall or whatever might not pick that up at all because you're not using a specific tool, right? That's another way. But here's a specific tool, and a lot of these firewalls are scanning for these, signs that it's from this or whatever. I don't know. I would think, right? But this shows you how to use different tools. Now you get email spoofing, spoof mail, or custom SMTP tools. Now this is the email protocol, right? You know that. So this is MS Venom, part of Metasploit. If you don't know how to use Metasploit, you should. Okay, because Metasploit is awesome. Credential harvesting, and a lot of malicious actors too have used Metasploit. They've used ethical hacking tools to do just hacking, not ethical hacking, and it's worked. So Metasploit is powerful. Okay, you don't know what that is, you should and look it up. But yeah, so this is what we do. And then it goes through, spoofing email, and I've got tools, commands. I explain. I don't show you how to use it, but I give you the basic command. And I put you on the right path. So it's you get on the right path, and then it's up to you to go and play around with this tool for a week or something and go, man, I created a cool spoofed email, man, dang, and it keeps you learning and learning and learning and learning. You can spend so much time if you have it, if you're willing to dedicate yourself to ethical hacking, pen testing, and all that stuff. He's willing to spend time like I do. I spend a lot of time creating, gathering, testing, making videos, and the videos that I make are only the videos that I have time to make. I usually am doing this all the time. So if I'm not putting together material like this to research, I'm practicing it on my VM, and I'm practicing it, I'm hacking stuff on my stuff. I'm running these commands, making it, oh, that does work. Okay, cool. So I'm just constantly doing stuff, and that's what you got to do. You have to have a passion for it, and you have to have time for it. And make time for all this, your passions. I like creating, that's why I create the videos, but I don't like letting people down. Or my students down or anything like that. So I do a lot of prep. I do a lot of research and practical prep for it. I'm not just gathering all this stuff. Well, for this stuff, I did just gather, but I plan on trying to run through this practically. Okay, and I've used the majority of these tools through all just here and there. But I haven't used it specifically for a specific made up target or anything like that. So that's where this would come in cool. That would be the next phase, right? So you can set up evil twin, evil evil twin, evil Jin times 2. I don't know what the heck that is. I thought it was evil twin. Anyways, this shows you how to install it, and then this shows you how to run it. And then this shows you how to configure it. And then this shows you how to use it. Add host name. Now, in here, I have stuff like plain text, right? That's because it shows you that this is going to be written in plain text. I have stuff that says bash right here. It shows you this is going to be a bash command. Okay? And the only time I do that is for plain text and bash, right? You're going to assume that the other stuff is just command line. This is just going to be command line or bash or whatever, anyways. So, evil Jinx 2 X2. Man, my brain's not working now. I'm getting tired now. I've been up since 5. Anyways, Bitly. Bitly's another tool, right? And people use Bitly. And these are what is this under? This is under phishing tools. So this is all to create emails and to actually to use them for stealth. So Bitly it shortens up your so this is what's funny. So they teach you that in cyber cultural awareness, they teach you to hover over. If you get an email and and it looks suspicious and you don't trust it, you hover over, and this is basic cultural awareness for cyber for the employees. They're teaching everybody this because they can't. If you try to teach employees more complicated stuff, they won't comprehend it. Okay, if they're not cyber, you're teaching a bunch of employees that don't understand cyber really. They only understand the awareness. So you're telling them to hover over the URL, and if it's way too long and it looks like weird and all that, not to click on it. But this right here shortens up the URL that you're trying. So that will probably slip through, bypass somebody, because it's gonna crop it, make it as short as possible to make it look like a normal URL. So that takes away that, right? So this is what people don't understand. Like in cybersecurity, they teach all this stuff that basically teaches. That's why this stuff is needed. Okay, this type of structure is needed for people in cybersecurity. I would say take a look at this, and then it'll help you be a better defensive person. Because what happens is I say we because I've taught that we're teaching people how to catch stuff like long, weird looking URLs, and you would think, well, that's not normal, don't click on it. But what if they use a tool like this where they shorten it and they make it look legit? And this is not hard to implement. Look, your command's here. This is the code. And curl does it, right? So you're shortening phishing URLs using create a short URL for phishing landing page. You're using curl right here. To shorten that, you can even customize you. So it's not hard. So if somebody, basically, that's why a lot of phishing attacks are successful. If you're having the time, or if you're part of a crime organization, I mean, these guys are bad, and they have enough time to teach their employees how to do this, they're going to implement the curl technique to shorten it to get it through, right? This is all the shadow part of the shadow initiative sequence protocol that I've put together. And so how do you teach for that? There's other techniques, right, for phishing campaigns, but if you're on that legit level, you're going to use something like this, right? All right, so then this just goes through, and then you can do more research. So then you got the block and evade defenses, payloads, right? I don't know what this one is. Maybe this is messed up. But anyways, this shows you more techniques using VEL framework and PowerShell Empire techniques, right? And fishery techniques. So these are all just different tools and techniques. DKIM. And I'm not done. So this is supposed to go on. So now we're on to the basic kick. Vulnerability scanning. And it just goes on and on. And I'm not finished with this, right? So I've gone through the stealth, gone through, I'm trying to get to the attack workflow. So this is like the rough draft, I'm telling you. And then you got your block, and I haven't done anything with this. This is not. This is so rough that I'm pulling this from like books and stuff. So this is so rough. I haven't even got to it. But anyways, there's the technique, right? And like I said, this is your this is my creation. Okay, I didn't take this from nobody. This is all me. Shadow Foundation sequence. This would be your first. So this is a lot of hard work. I've been working on this for a while. This is a lot of hard work to. They raided me. No, anyways, I ran out of video. So, like I said, this is a lot of hard work, but I think it would be beneficial for even if you just want to take a look at it, right, and get an idea of what you can do with basic text. So now that I ran through all that, right, so your right side of your brain, I don't know if that's your creative side or your logical side, I don't know, what your right side of your brain should be firing right now and should be going, oh, okay, because I'm not going too deep into crazy tactics and techniques. This is all basic stuff, but it looks complicated, and it could complicate you if you have to scrape from 10 different books. If you don't have an attack strategy, you don't have any idea where you could even start, this would be the book for you. This would be something I would say that people could use and go, okay, I see now. And it's not hard, you're not going to get lost in it. You're going to take it all in. You're going to go, okay, here's the basic. And it gives you something to relate it to, like martial arts. It's not going to, when you take martial arts, traditional martial arts, okay, like, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Taekwondo, karate, and all that stuff. You're gonna go through a belt system type. That's what I call traditional martial arts. You're gonna go through that. They do that to make it easy to learn, but you are learning something that's would normally be complicated to learn. You would probably just in the old days you would mimic or under the master. But now, so what happened was nowadays you can't do that unless you have somebody to mentor you and stuff, right? Or you have some kind of structure that you can follow and put it into sense, right? And say, okay, this would be part of all this stuff. And now I know all this stuff, and you actually have practical experience doing it. You can pull it off. You can create emails, phishing target emails. You can use tools like Motego. You can run MAT scans. You've done it before. You've practiced. And I'm telling you right now, there is tons of websites that are vulnerable. The damn vulnerable website is one of them. There are tons of free stuff to hack out there that you can practice all these commands on, and it would be so fun to do that. I might do that. I might just do that. I might make a series where I'm going through all this stuff and just attacking websites that are illegal and allowing you to do that. That would be so fun. I should do that. Actually, that's a great idea. I'm gonna do that, dude. I'm gonna do that because that would be so much easier. It's all out there for you. You don't have to set up your own environment. They have domains that you can attack for free. They want you, and you can, and like the damn vulnerability website, I think that's what it is. Yeah. And then there's like I said, there's what the heck, what am I thinking? The one that I have on my VM, let me see, let me pull it up. I want to give it to you because it's such a great idea. I just can't think of it. Oh yeah, your Metasploitable. So Metasploitable, you can actually make it harder to hack that. And you can do different hacks. You can use all this stuff on that. That would be great. Let's think of what I'm going to do that. That's what I'm going to do. Okay? But in the meantime, I'm creating this still. It's still rough. This is not by far. It's missing stuff. It's got a lot of basic foundations, but it's still rough. But when I get it completed, I'm going to, I'm either going to try to sell it. So if you guys are interested in buying it when I'm done, I'm gonna I can print it, mail it to you, ship it to you or something, but I'm gonna sell this. And sell it to people that are interested in cybersecurity and using it to try to hack those legal websites or be a pen tester or something like that, right? And like I said, so yeah, so that's basically it. That's my video. This is a long video, but it's okay because it's packed with a lot of stuff that I've created, and I'm very, very, very happy with how it turned out. I didn't think it was gonna be this good. I was like, man, this is great. And yeah, like I said, if you guys are interested in buying it, you gotta leave a comment, and then we can connect. And I'll finish it. I'll print it off my printer. I'll make it look professional, and then I'll ship it to you. I don't know what the price is yet. I'm gonna try to still figure that out. But yeah, I'll do that. You're not gonna get this anywhere else. You're not gonna get this in a book. There's no book out there. I've looked at a lot of books. There's books that have commands and stuff, but not like this. This is cool. This is my own creation. This is my own idea, and I think that this will help people. I think hopefully it takes off. This SISP, and people actually use it to do pen testing and stuff, and are successful with it. So I'm a creator, so like that's what I do. I create stuff like this. I research, develop, and I create curriculum. And this is one of my curriculums I would say that I've created that I'm very proud of. So yeah. But like I said, it's dangerous. Don't do any of this that you could get in trouble. You don't do any of this stuff illegally. You gotta do it on legal sites and stuff like that, and ethically, right? Or else, yeah, you're gonna get in trouble. So, and then this, like I said, this is not going into like physical tools and all that stuff. That's another thing, right? That's there's creating rubber duckies, creating USBs that you can do, plug into physical devices and do a keylogger and all that stuff. I've had videos on how to create a simple keylogger and all that stuff, right? With C# and then with Python. It's easy. That stuff is easy. I'm not going through all that stuff. That stuff is that's for on a different level. That's your backpack. That's what if you're out in the red teaming field and all that stuff. That's different. This is simply going to be for the guy in the van. You're the guy in the van, or you're the guy with the plan. You and your team, or you're the ethical hacker, or the pen tester, or stuff like that. And you have information, or you can find information and all that stuff. So it's pretty powerful. All right, that was HackTheFile. I'm excited about this. I really do care if I get a response and people are happy about this. But I'm doing this to create more conscious cybersecurity people, to be aware of what attackers are doing and what tools they're using and stuff. Just like that's what basically the minor attack frame does too. But this goes into more that how you can attack it, and it teaches you how to do it too. And once you know that, then you should be good defending it too, right? And that, like I said, that might be my next thing, research development. But all right, that was HackTheFile, and I hope you had fun, and I'll see you on the next video.